Ideally, a family acts as a secure launching pad. It provides the initial safety net a child needs to eventually step out, explore the world, and build a life of their own. In a recently surfaced video, a father warns his child, "Those friends of yours tried to ruin you, turn you into something you're not." On the surface, that sounds like standard protective parenting, a dad trying to steer his kid away from bad influences. But then he reveals exactly when he delivered this warning about backstabbing friends, on the child's very first day of school. Before the child had even met a single classmate, the father was already framing peers as threats. He wasn't reacting to a specific existing danger. He was preemptively sabotaging the child's ability to form any social bonds outside the home. In psychology, there is a term for this: toxic enmeshment. To see how this works, look at this diagram. We start with two distinct circles representing a parent and a child. In a healthy dynamic, they remain separate. But in an enmeshed relationship, the parent's circle expands until it completely engulfs the child, actively erasing the personal boundaries between them. The manipulator rarely starts with obvious cruelty. Instead, they lure the victim in with grandiose promises. The father tells the child, "This time, the whole universe will be ours," effectively implanting his own ambition into the child's mind. This creates a shared delusion. The child feels elevated, operating inside an elite bubble of safety with the parent, looking down on everyone else. An impermeable wall goes up between their special unit and the outside world. The child accepts this arrangement because it feels like love. They have to believe they are part of a privileged alliance. Otherwise, the extreme isolation and control that follow would immediately register as abuse. Once that bubble is established, the parent has to make sure the child never leaves it. This is why the father warns that friends are dangerous people. They wait until your armor is down, then stab you in the back. He is using a tactic called projection. The father takes his own manipulative, predatory traits and assigns them to the rest of the world. If the child believes everyone outside the family is a disguised predator, they will never trust a classmate, a school teacher, or a friendly neighbor. They won't build an independent support network. By successfully painting the outside world as uniformly hostile, the parent permanently installs themselves as the child's sole source of safety and the only trusted arbiter of truth. Notice this visual equation. The abuser maintains control by redefining the victim's vocabulary. He replaces friends with threats. The first day of school is rewritten as a danger zone, and claiming peers will turn you into something you're not labels independence as betrayal. A healthy parent works to make themselves obsolete by preparing a child to survive on their own. A toxic parent demands permanent, crippling dependence. You don't need to lock a door to isolate someone. If you can build a psychological prison of fear inside the victim's mind, they will lock themselves in. Immediately after this intense, paranoid rant, the father abruptly shifts gears. He declares, "I am a good dad." He needs the child to agree. Manipulators require their victims to actively validate their false self-image, confirming their benevolence despite a mountain of contradictory evidence. Then comes his final twisted logic. Family is for granted. What usually means you can always count on your family for unconditional love is flipped into a rigid demand for unearned absolute loyalty. This leaves the child completely trapped. Their reality is reduced to a terrifying paradox. The only source of safety in a supposedly hostile universe is the exact person who built their cage. This archetype doesn't actually care about the child's safety. What they truly seek is total, unquestioning compliance, carefully disguised as familial devotion. Real protection looks completely different. It involves actively fostering a child's self-trust and encouraging them to build a broad, diverse community in the outside world. There is a reliable diagnostic rule for any relationship. If someone requires you to systematically sever your ties with the outside world in order to stay safe, you are not being protected, you are being controlled. True loyalty empowers a person to navigate the world with confidence. Toxic isolation builds an invisible prison and simply calls it a home.